Hi, everyone. I'm Shira, and I'm here with Lee, Kim, and Juji. We are four friends, speakers, and professionals from different cultures, backgrounds, and age groups coming together to offer healing and inspiration. Sometimes you win, sometimes you learn. That is one of my favorite quotes. What if every time we went through a difficult situation, instead of saying, "Why me?" or "This sucks," we could say, "What lesson is this teaching me?" As we all know, nobody gets through this life unscathed. So girls, what's the life lesson that you're most grateful for? Who wants to go first?
I'll start. Huh. I don't think any of you will be surprised to hear me say that my biggest life lesson has been self-love, to love myself. It's such a big one, and it actually just I feel like I'm getting emotional just even saying that, because it's been such a journey learning this. I didn't really learn that lesson until I was in my mid-30s. And by that point, you guys know that I have struggled with psoriasis, the autoimmune skin disease, since I was 19. So by the time I got to my mid-30s, I just felt so much insecurity and shame, and like my self-esteem was so low that I didn't know that I didn't know that I could love myself. I didn't know that I needed that. I didn't know that that existed. You know, nobody ever taught me that or talked to me about that. It was just like this huge revelation for me. One day, you know I've shared the story with you, but I was like just crying one day uncontrollably and just wanting to be happy and wanting to even just like myself. And whether I had a skin issue or not, that's all I wanted. And I was like begging the universe for this kind of like answer, like help me. And I heard it. I heard it loud and clear that I love, like that was the answer. So from that day forward, it became a practice for me to love myself. And I know a lot of people probably hear that and they think it's woo-woo, or they think it's hippy-dippy, or they think it's weird or whatever. But it like actually saved my life. Like that's how strong I feel about it. It saved my life. I'd say one of the biggest things that I did to love myself and continue to do, because it is a journey and it's a lifelong journey, loving yourself, was just paying attention to how I spoke to myself. Our minds, as Shira, you like to call it, our monkey brain that never stops whispering all these negative things in your ear about yourself. Your thoughts can make you literally hate yourself. And I desperately needed to flip those thoughts to really turn that hate into love. And I have to be honest, it was tough. It was tough for years. But like with anything, the whole practice, we always talk about it's a practice, because it really, really is. It just gets so much easier over time when you continue to do it. I think of something like exercising. Most of my life with exercise, it was like this. It was like I was really motivated and into it and worked out all the time. And then I would have a lull for like 3 months and not do anything. And then I would get really back into it, right? And like it was kind of like that my whole life. I never had consistency. This is just an example. But so for the self-love, it was like I had to just keep it going on this same level. Otherwise, that was it. I was literally going to just go right back to that hate, that place of hate. So I just, I really just made it like a habit to do these things each day, to talk kindly to myself, to pay attention to that. Along with building my relationship with people and with money and with my body and with food and with, my spiritual practice, like creating a healthy relationship with all those areas in my life, reducing my stress. It all became like a full-time job. And it definitely remains a full-time job. And sometimes I get to it and sometimes I don't, but self-love, that was my biggest lesson.
That is awesome, Kim. That's so inspiring. It really is. Who wants to go next?
Thank you for sharing, Kim. Zhuzh, why don't you go, Zhuzhi?
I think that this is pertinent because of where we met, Kim. We met in a self-development workshop called Landmark, and I was there because I thought it was a business seminar, and I remember sitting down and you just said, Kim, you know, realizing that self-love was what you were missing, like truly saved your life, and this journey truly saved your life. And I remember sitting down on the first day of this self-development thing I had no idea about, and I remember that the leader said, for some of you this is about saving your life. And I like felt that in that moment, and like I knew she was right, and I started crying, and I continued crying for the majority of that weekend. And one of the reasons that I credit this to be like the first step in this journey for me is because it was the first time that I was ever told that what I think about myself, just because I thought it, doesn't make it true. And most of the time, what I thought about myself was in relation to others. Like I let other people dictate how I felt about myself. I let other people determine my own value. I let everything external tell me who I was. And I started to learn in that moment that that's just not the case, that I get to say who I am. And the fact is, that's still something that I'm exploring, obviously, because that program couldn't tell me who I was. You know, it's not about them telling me, it's about saying, hey, all of these external things have nothing to do with what's really going on with you. And we just did an episode about trusting yourself, and that was a huge piece of it, to be able to trust that things aren't as scary or as negative as I thought they were. And at the end of this 3-part program, one of the biggest lessons that I learned is, obviously, if other people don't dictate who I am, that means that I get to choose who is in my life. And I'm not for everyone, and everybody isn't for me. There's this like thing that we get taught when we were young about like being popular and being well liked, and sometimes that shows up as people pleasing, especially as women, and sometimes that shows up as going against your own intuition to go along with what other people say. And I think my biggest lesson is I don't have to do that anymore. I no longer wish to participate in what other people think of me on any level. And the freedom that allows me, the just complete and utter like relaxation into myself that has given me is invaluable. It just is. And, you know, I talk a lot about human design with you guys, and I've talked about it on this show. And what I say about Landmark is that it opened the door. Like, the external world doesn't dictate who I am, and now here's a map of who that is. And sometimes who that is rubs up against who someone else is. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not Nutella. I'm not for everyone.
I have to say, I think everyone can relate to that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Lee, I think you're going to share the lesson you're most grateful for next.
So I'll go next. And there have been so many lessons. It's really hard to pick one. I don't know that this is the biggest lesson, but it certainly is one of the biggest lessons for me. Because hopefully we're going to have future shows where we can share other lessons. Well, one of the biggest ones for me has been to allow myself to ask for support. You know, I grew up in an environment where I think somehow, and maybe many of us too, you know, you got to be strong. You got to appear strong and stable and secure and confident and grounded. That is how we all want to be. And so I think for the most part, I come across that way, or I have. And one of the hardest things for me, and I think this was around the time that I was getting a divorce, that I really, you know, I was down and out. There were so many things going on. It was kind of a messy situation. And I learned that it's okay to reach out. I needed support. I needed some guidance. I needed somebody to just either be a sounding board or to just help confirm that the things that I feel are okay and that I'm entitled to feeling certain ways, you know, the anger, the frustration, the sadness, whatever it was. And also I come from a home, like my mom's very strong. I always looked at her as very strong, but again, there are things, you know, she didn't have an education, and she doesn't know a lot about self-awareness and self-empowerment and going on these journeys. But God bless her, she's been able to handle certain situations in life better than any man or woman that I know. She's lost businesses. She's started business. She's been bankrupt. She's had things taken away. But she's always been pretty darn strong. And yeah, she gets sad and she gets weak, if I can say that word. But that's where I am with this, is that it's okay to reach out. It's not a sign of weakness if you are sad, or if you are down in the dumps or depressed or whatever it is that you're going through, you know, and I have much better tools today to handle all that. But at the same time, I so much more easily reach out. You know, I'll text a friend, I'll call a friend. I have like zero issues doing that now, but it used to be a very challenging thing for me. You know, it was like a sign of weakness. Yeah.
This is so filling up my soul. Like, I can't even explain to you.
These are such good lessons that everyone listening or watching is going to relate to. Such good lessons. Shira, what about you?
Well, I'm going to go last.
Okay.
So I will say that the biggest life lesson I've learned in the last couple of years, well into my 50s, is two things. One is to slow down, and it's actually, they go together. Slow down and allow. And when I say allow, when I meditate, my palms, my hands are open, right? Because for the longest time, I was like white knuckling things. And I felt so stuck. I felt stuck in my marriage. I felt stuck within myself. I felt stuck in my career. I wasn't trusting myself. I was like, I don't want to be old and going through what I'm continuing to go through. The minute I opened up my hands and allowed, now I'm going to get emotional.
We'll get emotional with you. Don't worry.
The minute I allowed what I wanted to come to me by clearing out my mind and focusing on what I really wanted in my life and allowing it to happen, I just can't tell you how many miracles have happened in my life. Like making the decision to leave, finding a job easily, finding a place to live easily, realizing that my support system is so there for me. It's just been this like catharsis of letting go, just letting go and allowing things that are more amazing than I could have ever dreamed up myself to happen for me, right? We always say life is happening for me, not to me. And part of that is just slowing down, right? Slow down your mind, slow down your speech, slow down your reaction time. You know, there's just this peace in knowing that you're being supported not just by the people around you and yourself, but I personally happen to believe in whatever you call it, a higher power, infinite wisdom. It's inside of us, right? So our intuition is that for me. It's not like some high on, you know, God sitting in a chair with a long beard going, you will live and you will die. Like I don't believe in a higher power like that, but I do believe that it's inside me and it's guiding me. And it's just been such an amazing journey over the last year and a half. And I keep just saying, what else? Like, just what else should I allow to happen? You know, what else shouldn't I fight? And it's like when you go from this to this, it's just a transformational experience. And for sure, my meditation has helped me, but also doing the work, right? I've joined groups. We do this show. I have a therapist. Like, it's just allowing all of the goodness that we deserve, because life is so damn short and we want to feel as good as possible, as much as possible. And so I'm just really learning to allow things to come to me, to let go, to not have to know all the answers all the time, and to listen to that inspirational voice inside of me that's always guiding me, and wants what's best for me. And it's really nice to sort of sit in that space.
That's beautiful. Beautiful.
Shira, we've watched you just blossom over the last year and a half. I mean, I remember like really getting to know you in a seminar we all attended, and you showed up and you were like, I've decided to leave my husband. And I was like, hashtag me too. And that's when we all really like opened up to each other for the first time. And yeah, we've all been on this journey with you. I remember when you got your job. I remember when you got your apartment. And we were all just like watching with complete amazement and wonder at like what you were able to like, I don't manifest as a super woman that you are. And you know, the support system that was around you was incredible to see. And I think it really is a testament of your good vibration.
You guys are such a blessing in my life. You're just the biggest blessing.
Yeah.
So many blessings.
Feelings mutual.
Yeah. Listening to you gave me the chills, and it just made me see like this outside looking in big picture of this show, and how it like just talking to each other brought about such healing for us and support that I really, you know, I really hope that people out there are getting when they listen.
Well, my sweet sisters, I think this is a good place to wrap. If you love our conversations, and how can you not, please please click. I'm so modest. It's one of my best qualities. Please click like and subscribe to our channel. Tell a friend. Spread the word. And please also let us know if you have any comments or questions, or if there's a topic you want us to cover. We will see you soon. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we love you.